Welcome everyone to our episode 60 of our new podcast of Drops of Wisdom. Yes, we are going to stay with this section of Drops of Wisdom because it has been popular because I think it helps a lot of people summarizing the different kind of books that I'm reading and the different kind of books that are varied in the 5 pillars of health. So today is not an exception, and we are beginning this 5th season of the podcast with the book The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle, and we are going to speak about talent isn't born, it is grown. So you are not born with the talent, you develop the talent. You have to challenge yourself to grow a thicker layer of myelin in your brain that allows the processing, the neural connections, the traveling of the neurotransmitters, and the amazing ability to develop skills to a degree where you can be a master. That's what we want. We don't want old messages that say that there are just certain elite people that can have talent or successful people. Every one of us can develop a skill, and every one of us can develop a talent if you commit with yourself to grow the talent. So much time we have been misled by the mainstream messages, an archaic system of education, and a lack of support in early years for children mainly. All those factors have contributed to think that there are just a few that can be part of that elite of talent, which is completely false. Now, science proves that we all can develop mastery, talent, and greatness if we commit to what we love. And that's the definition of greatness for me. For me, greatness is doing what you love in a degree that you are committing with yourself to be the best in what you want to be. That's the definition of greatness for me. And I think that can be shared with many people and resonate with many people. All skills are based on the same cellular mechanism, the production of myelin around the neural pathways. This myelin is the kind of concrete that is going to allow the flow of traffic if we compare it to a highway or a freeway. In fact, all actions, feelings, and thoughts are the result of electrical impulses that travel along a series of connected nerve fibers that we can call circuits. And all those circuits and all those neural pathways are going to be constructed and are going to be flowing much more softer and in an easier way if you challenge yourself to learn more about the things that you love. The growth of myelin is crucial for skill development, and it determines the speed, the precision of the signal transmission along a circuit. The thicker the myelin layer, the greater the ability to control the movements and thoughts accurately. Making mistakes fosters talent. Have you listened to that? Making mistakes fosters talent because it stimulates myelin growth. That is something that hasn't been said anywhere because people are afraid of making mistakes. People are afraid of failing. And it is just the pathway to grow. That is just the path to become a master. Making mistakes. I don't know anyone successful that hasn't committed a mistake. So every one of these elite people that have been successful and they are just like They mark history in whatever they do, athletes, scientists, artists, whatever it is, the professional background that they have, all of them have failed. All of them have made billions of mistakes. And that is the key and the secret for their talent. Deep practice involves making mistakes, and then it is not just making mistakes, pay attention here. It is correcting them. It is making an stimulation of myelin growth by correcting the mistake, by detecting where did you have the mistake and why did you have the mistake. By repeating challenging parts of a task, of a project, whatever it is, and fixing the errors, the firing of the nerves thickens the myelin around the new circuit. A skill is not exclusively dependent on genes and environment. Again, I'm going to repeat that part because you need to listen carefully. A skill is not exclusively dependent on genes and environment. It depends on ignition. What is ignition? An external cue that triggers motivation. It is needed for long-term skill development. It convinces us that achieving the skill is possible through hard work and dedication. So you have to put that in mind. You have to work hard. You have to have dedication. You have to have discipline. You have to have constancy. It is not easy. Of course, it is not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be talented. Everyone would be successful. No. That is something that you need to be challenged by. Analyzing talent hotbeds, which are the sources of talent, worldwide reveals that talent to be a mixture of three things: deep practice, ignition, which ignition means that motivation, and master coaching. So you need to become your own coach. Master coaches play a vital role connecting deep practice and ignition. So if you are a teacher, if you are a coach, if you are someone, if you are a parent, that have a role of helping people, guiding people to learn more, to understand more, you need to do this. Masters, teachers, coaches, they provide clear and precise instructions. Again, clear and precise instructions that stimulate firing of nerves, leading to myelin growth and strengthening the circuits involved in executing the skill. Deep practice consists of chunking up the task, dividing the task into little things, into little pieces, repeating it, and looking for difficulties. Splitting the task, repeating the things. Coaches must be clear and precise in the directions as well to ensure technical knowledge translate into myelin growth. The goal is to assist students in reaching a state of deep practice by meeting their individual needs. Listen to this part, because if you are a teacher, if you are a coach, that's your compromise. Assist students reaching a state of deep practice, meeting their individual needs, not just the group needs, and providing specific coaching styles. You have to be paying attention to the different kind of people that you have in your classroom, in your company, wherever you are developing talent in your team. You need to give a specific coaching directions and style. We need an external cue, which is that ignition, to motivate us to develop a skill over the long term. That's why many people can be successful for 1 year, 2 years, and then we don't listen about them. and they were just like passing stars, that they are just successful for a season and that's it, because there was not enough motivation to develop, enough ignition, if enough turning on of the commitment to become a master. The combination of deep practice, ignition, and master coaching is essential for talent development. And all of us, I repeat, all of us can develop talent. Deep practice involves breaking down tasks into small units, repetition, and practicing just beyond the limits of one's ability. Ignition provides motivation and belief in the possibility of achieving the skill. I will repeat that part. Belief in the possibility of achieving the skill. Believe in you. You need to believe in you. You are able to believe in you. You have a vision. That's the challenge. To develop a vision, to believe in you, to believe that you can achieve the mastery, achieve the skill, while the master coaching, the teacher, will help you to connect that technical knowledge with the individual needs for effective skill development. So you need a coach, you need a teacher, you need a guide, and then you need practice, deep practice. Some types of coaches serve ignition. They help you to gain that motivation, and they help you to serve their deep practice because they challenge you. So that's the role also of many teacher coaches, challenging people, challenging students, challenging children. Children don't go to the school so that parents can help them with their homework. That's not the point of delivering a project or whatever it is that the school is being required. That is not learning. Helping the children to have perfect homeworks or not making mistakes is alienating them, detaching them from the creation of the myelin, because you are not letting them have frustration, because you are not letting them get angry with themselves because they are not doing the things, because they can't pass certain tasks. They need to face that frustration. They need to have a need. They need to satisfy the need in order to grow, in order to develop different pathways, in order to grow the myelin, in order to make the myelin layer thicker. Master coaches need a vast knowledge of their field and the ability to meet the individual needs of their students. So that's the challenge for many of us. If you are a parent, if you are a teacher, if you are a coach, you need this challenge. You need to allow your children, allow your students, allow your team, allow your workers to do the things by themselves, and give them guidance and give them the deep practice of individual things, specific things, where you detect where do they need to develop more resources. So how can I summarize this book? Myelin determines how quickly and precisely a signal can travel along a circuit. Much like a wider road allows you to drive faster, a thicker layer of myelin enables electric impulses to travel more rapidly through the circuit. So if you challenge yourself to grow this myelin by making mistakes, your road will expand. Your pathways, your neural pathways will be stronger and more precise. And they will allow the nerve impulses to be faster and softer also. Second phrase where I can summarize, myelin is living tissue. Yes, you listen correctly, living tissue. So that means that you need to be cultivating the tissue. You need to allow it to grow. It is not by watching news. It is not by reading crap in social media. It is not by consuming information from the life of others, like in the YouTubers that just narrate their lives. It is not by consuming that kind of information that you are going to grow myelin. It is by consuming information that makes you grow, that makes you expand, that challenge your mind to think, much like a muscle which needs to be exercised regularly for it to grow. The layer of myelin around a circuit only thickens when the nerve fibers it surrounds are fired regularly. So we need to challenge ourselves every day with information, reading, with practicing, and with trying to remember what you learn in your days. Thank you very much for paying attention. I hope that you have enjoyed this session. I hope that I have challenged you to think. I hope that I have challenged you to reflect and to grow your myelin layer. Thank you, and we will listen to each other next week. Bye.